Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dazzling Destinations channel. Today we're diving into the dark and twisted world of video games to bring you the top 10 most scariest video games of all time. So, grab your controllers and the blanket to hide behind because we're about to get seriously spooked. Let's get started. Number 1. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a first-person survival horror game developed by Frictional Games and released in 2010. The game is set in the late 18th century and follows Daniel, a young man who wakes up in a mysterious castle with no memory of his past. As he explores the castle, Daniel must solve puzzles and avoid monsters while uncovering the truth about his past and the dark forces that haunt the castle. The game has received critical acclaim for its atmosphere, storytelling, and emphasis on psychological horror over jump scares. It has also been praised for its use of player agency, as the player's action and choices can affect the game's narrative and outcome. Amnesia: The Dark Descent has since become a cult classic in the horror genre and has spawned several sequels and spin-offs. Number 2. Silent Hill Part 2. Silent Hill 2 is a survival horror game developed by Team Silent and published by Konami for the PlayStation 2 in 2001. The game is the second installment in the Silent Hill series and follows James Sunderland, who receives a letter from his deceased wife asking him to meet her in the town of Silent Hill. As James navigates through the foggy and nightmarish town, he encounters various monsters and otherworldly beings, as well as several other characters who are also trapped in Silent Hill. Throughout the game, James must solve puzzles, explore different environments, and battle his inner demons as he searches for answers about his wife's death and his own guilt. Silent Hill 2 is known for its dark and moody atmosphere, intricate plot, and psychological horror elements. It received critical acclaim upon release and has since been regarded as a classic in the survival horror genre. The game's themes of loss, grief, and personal redemption continue to be praised by players and critics alike. Number 3. Outlast. Outlast is a first-person survival horror video game developed and published by Red Barrels. It was released in 2013 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game follows Miles Upshur, a freelance journalist who investigates the Mount Massive Asylum, a remote psychiatric hospital situated deep within the mountains of Colorado. Miles discovers that the asylum has been taken over by an unknown entity and the inmates have become violent and dangerous. Armed with only a camcorder, Miles must navigate the dark and twisted corridors of the asylum to uncover its secrets and escape with his life. Outlast is known for its intense atmosphere, jump scares, and graphic violence. The game received positive reviews from critics for its horror elements and immersive gameplay, leading to the development of sequel Outlast 2, which was released in 2017. Number 4. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Resident Evil 7 is a first-person survival horror game developed and published by Capcom. It was released in January 2017 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and later released on the Nintendo Switch via cloud streaming in May 2018. The game takes place 4 years after the events of Resident Evil 6 and follows the story of Ethan Winters, a civilian who receives a mysterious message from his missing wife, Mia. The message leads him to an abandoned plantation mansion in Dalville, Louisiana, where he must survive against a family of mutated humans known as the Baker family and uncover the truth behind their creation. Unlike previous Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 7 features a first-person perspective and focuses more on exploration, puzzle solving, and resource management. The game also introduces new gameplay mechanics such as crafting and healing items, as well as a new inventory system. Additionally, it supports visual reality gameplay with compatible VR headsets. Resident Evil 7 received critical acclaim for its return to roots in survival horror, atmosphere, and storytelling. It has since been followed by multiple DLCs and the spin-off game Resident Evil Village, which continues the story of Ethan Winters. Number 5. Dead Space. The game takes place in the 26th century on a deep space mining vessel called the USG Lashimara, which has been overrun by a mysterious alien race known as the Necromorphs. Players take on the role of Isaac Clarke, an engineer who is sent to investigate the ship's distress signal, only to find himself trapped on board with the deadly creatures. Gameplay in Dead Space focuses heavily on strategic dismemberment, where players must strategically target specific limbs of the necromorphs in order to defeat them. The game also features zero-gravity environments and the unique HUD system built into the character's suit, allowing for a more immersive experience. Dead Space was well received by critics for its intense gameplay, terrifying atmosphere, and innovative mechanics. It has since spawned 2 sequels, several spin-offs, and has become a popular franchise within the survival horror genre. Number 6. Fear. The game follows the story of an alternate universe where a paramilitary force known as Fear is sent to investigate a supernatural phenomenon taking place in a corporation's research facility. Players take on the role of Pointman, a member of the team who possesses extraordinary reflexes and psychic abilities, as he battles against enemy soldiers and supernatural entities, all while uncovering the truth behind the mysterious experiments being conducted. Gameplay in Fear combines elements of traditional first-person shooters with supernatural horror themes, allowing players to utilize a variety of weapons and psychic abilities to fight their way through intense combat scenarios. The game also features advanced artificial intelligence, with enemies showing signs of fear and tactical thinking, adding to the game's overall sense of immersion. Fear was widely praised by critics for its atmospheric horror elements, intense gunplay, and innovative gameplay mechanics. It has since spawned several sequels including Fear 2, Project Origin, and Fear 3, both of which were developed by Day One Studios. Number 7. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. The game follows the story of Alexandra Roivas, a young woman who inherits her grandfather's mansion after he is murdered. She discovers a mysterious book called The Tome of Eternal Darkness, which details the stories of past individuals battling supernatural forces throughout history. As she reads the book, she begins to experience strange occurrences and nightmares, leading her to uncover a sinister plot that threatens all of humanity. Gameplay in Eternal Darkness involves exploration and puzzle solving, as players control different characters throughout history who must face various supernatural threats. The game also features a unique sanity meter system where players' character can slowly lose their sanity during gameplay. This can lead to hallucinations and other unusual effects that can affect gameplay, such as inverted controls or fake error messages. Eternal Darkness was praised by critics for its innovative gameplay mechanics, compelling storyline, and immersive atmosphere. The game's use of sanity meter system was particularly well received, as it added a new level of tension and unpredictability to the gameplay. Despite being a commercial failure at the time of its release, Eternal Darkness has since become a cult classic and is considered one of the greatest horror games of all time. Number 8. Alien: Isolation. The game is set 15 years after the events of the original Alien film and follows the story of Amanda Ripley, the daughter of protagonist Ellen Ripley. Amanda sets out to investigate the disappearance of her mother and travels to a remote space station called Sevastopol, where she finds herself haunted by a single xenomorph alien that stalks her throughout the game. Gameplay in Alien Isolation focuses on stealth and survival, with players having to navigate through the environment while avoiding the alien and other enemies. The game features a crafting system allowing players to create weapons and tools to aid them in their survival. The game also uses an AI system to control the alien's behavior, making each encounter with it unpredictable and terrifying. Alien Isolation was well received by critics for its tense atmosphere, immersive gameplay, and faithfulness to the original film. The game received numerous awards and nominations for its sound design, graphics, and gameplay mechanics. It has since become a beloved title in the Alien franchise and a favorite among fans of survival horror games. Number 9. PT. The game's full title is PT Silent Hills Concept, and it was meant to be a teaser for an upcoming Silent Hill game, which was cancelled after a highly publicized falling out between Kojima Production and Konami. The game's development was led by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, with actor Norman Reedus portraying the protagonist. PT takes place in a single looping hallway that players must navigate through to solve various puzzles. As they progress, strange and unsettling events begin to occur, leading to the terrifying climax. The game features a minimalist UI and requires players to use headphones to fully experience the immersive sound design. PT was well received by critics and fans alike for its innovative approach to horror, surreal atmosphere, and unexpected twists. The game's popularity and hype grew rapidly after its release, with players sharing their experiences online and theories about what the game could mean. Despite the cancellation of the Silent Hill game it was intended to promote, PT remains a cult favorite among horror game enthusiasts and is often cited as one of the scariest games ever made. Number 10. Fatal Frame Part 2. The game follows sisters Mio and Mayo and Makora as they become lost in a forest while on a day trip. They come across an abandoned village where they encounter spirits and ghosts of its former inhabitants. The sisters must navigate through the haunted village while learning about its dark past and uncovering the truth behind their own connection to it. Gameplay in Fatal Frame 2 revolves around using a camera obscura, a special camera that can exorcise the spirits of the dead. Players must take photos of the spirits at close range, which damages them and allows players to progress through the game. The game also features exploration and puzzle-solving elements, with an emphasis on creepy atmosphere, jump scares, and intense boss battles. Fatal Frame 2 received critical acclaim for its haunting atmosphere, innovative gameplay mechanics, and engrossing storyline. It has since become a cult classic in the survival horror genre, and the remastered version was released on the Nintendo Wii in 2012. And there you have it, guys, our top 10 most scariest video games of all time. Did your favorite horror game make the list? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. As always, thanks for watching and